and step by step we will be going. So today I shared the LinkedIn link. Okay, so I created a blog where all the session related updates will be available. So if you guys just want it as a summary, so whatever we discussed on day 1, day 2, the YouTube link of that plus the content of that is available on that YouTube blog, and sorry, that LinkedIn blog, and on a daily basis we will keep adding more to it. Okay, so you can go through that for quick revision or whatever as a summary together, even if you miss a few points during the session. Okay, now another thing, so as part of today's session we are going to do some continuation of what we did yesterday, plus on top of that we will be launching some more topics, so that yesterday's information plus today's information, you take all that and do your next action planning as part of your corporate career. Okay, so everybody, you have to customize it based upon your situation, your circumstances at work, but I think it will be a very nice value add things. Okay, so chalo, let's get a quick recap of key points which you have to remember from yesterday. Okay, so we said ki there are multiple, primarily 4 pillars by which you can get high performance at work. One was getting the expectations from the manager and then crossing those expectations. The second pillar was becoming a player of your team. The third pillar was constant skill upgradation. Okay, and the fourth pillar is building a network of strong growth minded people. Okay, so in each of these 4 areas we need to grow. That is what we discussed yesterday. Okay, now what is required is we have to do self analysis and know where we are right now, and that is where yesterday you guys did that exercise also. Out of ABCD, okay, the 4 categories, you guys even decided, tried to put you into some of the category with some reasons, whatever that is. Okay, now the thing is key, so from that category we need to grow forward, plus we need to collect these inputs which will come based upon your expectations from your manager, and combining all of that you need to really define, okay, where are you lacking and what is your next important item which you should work and improve so that you get maximum benefit from your careers. Okay, and guys, everything is very easy, it's possible to do. So first of all, remove this kind of it's tough, it's hard, not able to figure out what to do. We have a very composed logical brain. If we really sit, analyze, we will be able to make very smart decisions with our own careers. Okay, and this is how you have to be on driving seat, thoda sa sensible somewhere. This kind of guidance is also coming to you. So, but along with that, you start analyzing. Okay, so now what is our primary aim of today's session is we need to self-analyze, okay, what we need to improve upon. Plus, we need to come up with a plan of how we will do the yesterday's item, like reaching out to managers or some other members. Plus, today we are going to discuss some of the topics which will help you to plan your career, the next moves of that. Okay, so combining all of this knowledge, then you need to decide, okay, what is most important next 2-3 items to do for your career to start living to a more better capability. Okay, so end summary mein we should have list of next 2-3 important items where you should train yourself in order that you start growing forward in your career. But for doing that decision, that's the last step, okay, where you need to have that list. That's the last step. Before that, there are going to be multiple other strategies to be applied. Okay, so fine, ek karke karenge, so don't worry too much. Step by step we will get into. That's where I even dropped the guys. If possible, yes, try to log in from your laptops. But anybody, if you guys are on phone, some of you were saying, so no worries, try to arrange a pen and a paper, but don't just listen and ignore. Okay, listen karoge to it doesn't work out. We need to literally do things today so that we want to grow ahead. Okay, so chalo, I will be sharing my screen and writing a few things down as well. In parallelly, you also start thinking about it. Okay, and parallelly, let's do a practical action things together. So it's 9:05 and good to see roughly we have people in. So time, consistency, punctuality are 4 things. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen, notepad. Now, dekho, so end result is we need to have list of items in which you should improve at whatever experience level you might be, guys. This works. Okay, list of items in which you should improve for growing faster in your career. Okay, so this should be the end list. So it could be maybe the top 3 items, 1, 2, 3. We need to prepare this list. Okay, but before going to this list, what are the sources? Sometimes you might not analyze yourself very properly. It might happen. So you need to, whenever making some decisions, consult with the right people from multiple sources, take the inputs, then you process on top of that and then make a decision. The chances that it is good will automatically improve. Okay, so what are the sources from where you will be preparing this list? Okay, first, like yesterday we said, you need to have a call with your manager to know your expectation. If you are feeling too hesitated to ask about what are you expecting from me, simply ask how is my performance going? Could you please suggest me some area of improvement? Okay, but guys, this call is very important, because based upon this call, guys, if you meet it, you will be getting a better promotions and hikes and all of those things. Without having this kind of conversation, no matter how much effort you put, in the end they can always say, okay, it did not work as we wanted. Okay, so this call is very important. Even if you don't do anything after that, but as a first step, it is very positive. Okay, this guy wants to improve. It shows a very positive notation. So first thing what you need to do is arrange a call with your manager. Whoever gives you the performance feedbacks, whoever gives you the work, arrange the call with that person, manager or lead, whoever it is. Okay, ask about your expectations. If you're hesitated to ask about expectation, ask about how is my performance. Okay, ask about what are my areas of improvement. One suggestion I want to give this to everyone. Okay, key, you need to ask for feedbacks. In IT industry, this is something really wrong. Okay, many people take feedbacks negatively. Okay, it's like if somebody is trying to give you feedback, people are like taking it emotionally, on ego, very personally. Don't do that. Every feedback is an opportunity to improve. Okay, every feedback is an opportunity to improve. So when somebody, and guys, positive feedbacks though everybody likes, अरे वाह अच्छा बोल रहा है अच्छा. But when negative feedback comes, that is where the time is. You need to analyze something is wrong, and that gives you the growth opportunity. So straight away, your approach in IT should be, yes, I am there somewhere, but I need to grow. I need to become better. Okay, so you should always know that you are not perfect. There is a next level. So that is where straight away you will ask a question, tell me my areas of improvement. Guys, I have 12 years experience. Still, I know that I have more to learn, more to grow. And at every stage, it is applied. So yeah, first approach is this source. Okay. Second approach is, I would really like you discuss with the seniors of your team some inputs. What do they feel you should improve forward? Yes, this is important. First, let's write it down, then we'll discuss about it. Discuss with your team seniors on what and how to improve. Here also some list will come up. Okay, देखो guys, why this second step is important? You need to take the team along with you. What will start happening if you directly start reaching out to the manager alone and trying to have all these conversations alone, and if the team notices it you're trying to do, rivalry will start in the system. They will start pulling you back, they will start taking away, clashes बढ़ने लग जाएंगे when they see you're doing this. So you should make sure you're not discussing this with your team when you went to your manager for this. This has to happen as a separate thing. Don't really share it with everyone, but at the same time, even if they know it you're doing all this, parallelly you reach out to the other senior members of your team to collect more information. Don't live in that only I should grow and all. That's where my technique kya hone wala hai. First step will be, we will get all these inputs. Okay, I'm giving you the big picture, baad mein step by step we'll get through it. First step will be, we will get all the inputs. Next, we will come up with the list of items. Next, we will start training ourselves in that list of items. Next, we will get improvement feedback from your manager and the seniors. Next, you will train other team members. This is a full-fledged step system you need to apply at your work so that you will get recognized, you will start growing, you're adding more value to the system, plus other team members are also going. So full-fledged system needs to be involved. If you do partially, you will end up inviting more problems for yourself. People will be getting in clashes with you. देखो, like again 3 idiots में ये था, right, कि जब दोस्त फेल हो जाता है तो बुरा लगता है, but when he comes first then और बुरा लगता है. So that's what, it's a normal human nature. If somebody sees that you are really succeeding and putting a lot of efforts, average minded, narrow minded people, they will start thinking like rivalry with you. That is well, be along with growth oriented people, so they will support you in that. Okay, but anyways, don't create friction at work. So for that, it is important that while you are growing, you give the same guidance to the other team member. I grew in this area and this is how I learned it, this is how it is happening. Give your best shot, guys. Why am I sharing so much of knowledge with you is because I know that only when I share, that's how spread happens. So genuinely, you people will also feel that kind of connect here. Tausief is giving us so value, so we should be dedicated to learn and grow. You do this similar thing at your job with your team, they will feel so positive about you, and then you automatically start moving up the order in B player, A player. वो खुद से the transition starts happening. Okay? So now chalo, let's come back. So full-fledged system will be a long one, but at least today what we will do is, okay, so first we will do this. Second step is like you connecting with your team members. Third step is like, okay, today I will discuss some of the topics on which individuals should grow in their IT career. So IT career based upon your experience, based on experience, today we will discuss. So I will share based upon whatever I have seen of the industry, what 0 to 2 years of experience people should focus upon, what 2 to 4, like what 4 to 6, and then accordingly 6 plus. Okay, we'll just walk through what is the basic expectations of this IT career out of an individual. I'll share those inputs, so you even consider that. Plus fourth is your analysis. Guys, don't make decisions with partial data. If only your analysis you are taking and coming up with list, you might miss a lot of other things. It might not give you the end result. So detailed analysis karenge. So first, this is the analysis phase. Okay, what you are lacking and how you should become better. Considering, so this analysis, your analysis, you already said yesterday, maybe few areas, right? During category, while you were categorizing yourself, or general observation, whatever you feel are your lacking areas, wahan se bhi leke. Okay, so once we get inputs from all these four, before you get these details from all the places, don't really start working on your improvement. First, spend time in analysis, conclusion ke what you should do. Okay, so step number 1, we will find ke what we need to improve upon. Okay, and then accordingly this list will be coming. Now this list we will arrange in the priority of importance. Okay, it's not required that every item you start working. There might be 1,000 areas where I need to improve, but I can do one area at a time. So you need to get practical. Lot of feedbacks might come. You should not get demotivated. People might say, this is wrong, you need to work here. You have to take everything positively. That's how people become high performant, by being positive in the inputs. Okay, so take this, arrange this based upon priority. Now what is this priority is like? The most important item which will help you grow in your career, that should come first, and then comes the later stages. Okay, so this is the plan basically. Okay, now what is supposed to happen? Kuch to chalte rehta hai teams mein. Okay, now first of all, guys, write down the first section for you. Okay, planning call with manager. Just write down the first area for you. Guys, go ahead in your Open any editor, go like maybe OneNote or Word or like Microsoft Word or anything, any editor, Notepad++, whatever you feel like. Okay. Arranging the call with your manager. Okay. Now, I don't know whether some of you guys might have already taken actions on this, but if not done, just think about it. When would you like to have this call with your manager? A target set karo guys, and don't be shy, don't be scared. Don't be shy, don't be scared. You have to speak. This is where, because salary ke time pe to then anyways you will be disappointed if you are not rewarded properly, right? Then you will anyways talk. So talk upfront. That is proactive nature. So baad mein damage ho gaya, then you are discussing, it doesn't give any value. Be upfront. Okay. So fine. So write down guys, arranging call with your manager and think practically. And this is the date basically. Today is 9th of November. Decide a date before which you want to arrange a call with your manager. And maybe the maximum I would suggest is 18th of November. If you can do it tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, it is fine. Or because they might also have time to thoda upfront they doge notice, so they will be like okay to arrange that meeting. So, but maximum 18th of November, I feel you should definitely have that call. Don't procrastinate, don't delay. The sooner you finish, the better it will be for you. Okay. So guys, write down some date by which you want to do it and stick with it, guys. Okay, stick with it. Maximum date. And then right from tomorrow, try to arrange that call ahead in time and get that done. Okay, guys, everybody, if done, just write it in chat as done. Whoever is finalized the date by when you want to do it. Pick a date, guys. Don't make it a very delayed date. Many of the people don't get results because they set up unnecessary long time for things. It doesn't work like that. Okay, fine. Pick up one practical date, but make it happen. Okay, and देखो guys, be like even if the date is let's say 16 November, so already start scheduling the call. Don't get into like 15 November and say, okay, can we have a call tomorrow? So upfront bolo, next week I wanted to have a call, some general discussion. Can we do that? So talk properly, guys. Okay, fine. So many of you guys are saying, okay, done. Yeah, generally, all these discussions happen in working hours. Okay. So somebody is saying कि working hours में चलता है ये सारा. अरे आसिफ थोड़ा स्क्रीन को छोड़ दो भाई, ये ड्राइंग कलरिंग चल रही है यहाँ पे. Okay, let me stop my screen share.
Hello sir.
Yes.
हाँ सर, फरहान.
Yes.
हाँ सर, मैंने ट्राई किया ये वाला कल ही जो आपने मुझे बताया ना कि स्टार्ट अ डिस्कशन विद द मैनेजर. सो आई गॉट अ रिस्पांस, कम अप विथ योर ईयरली work which you have done. So like I was little surprised because मैं तो मतलब every work I used to share with my manager, and now he's asking me पूरा मतलब from Jan 1st till today you bring a list of all your items, how many bugs you fixed, how many risks you resolved, come with a list of all your items. So
now, that's what they go. So you right now itself you know कि if the same way you would have continued to the end of financial year to end में, तो he would not have given you anything. Because right now also this attitude is coming, right?
That's right.
So abhi you have to then study and then come up with some details ki what you have to share. So that's what you have to face all this as early as possible itself.
Okay sir.
Yeah, because the same conversation he would have it in March 2023 and then you would give the same thing. Arey, I told you everything, but right now why are you telling me all this? So that is where right now November is a nice checkpoint for you. Thoda sa analyze it. Go ahead and proper baat karo, guys. Okay, don't make it like fighting game with your managers. Just talk it properly. I want to improve, suggest me how do I improve. Keep the conversation like that. Okay, what is my area of improvement? Please suggest me. I really wanted to grow forward in my career. When you talk it like that na, people will appreciate. If they feel that you're trying to hack the system, do something about it, they will really feel, they will also become like aggressive to us. Okay, so talk it properly, because in the end you have to really make it nice. Okay, and try to have these conversations early.
Yes sir, that's the reason I thought to bring it up, because और भी लोगों को ये question आएगा, तो उससे अच्छा better you prepare and go.
yes, ठीक है. And just नहीं, देखो guys, don't overthink. Different managers will handle the situation differently, but just my suggestion is handle it humbly. Okay, handle it humbly with the attitude ki I really want to do it. Guys, this questions we'll take it later. Okay, let's stick to the project first. Okay, otherwise we'll not be able to meet whatever we are planning to do. Okay, chalo. You put the questions later, we will discuss it. Maybe I'm thinking that tomorrow we can have the Q&A related thing. Okay, so first arrange this time, but again, yes, we humble talk it in a manner ki I want to improve. That nature should come, not like कि भाई tell me how, like performance and all that. थोड़ा सा properly रखो बातों को अपने, ठीक है? That's important. Next, okay, now just see as part of the second step. Okay, discuss with your senior team members on how to improve. Just your question should be, I want to improve further. Please let me know my areas of improvement so that I can work on them. Okay, so write down the second point, discussion with your team members. Okay, discussion with your team members. And at least right now, just do things ki write down the name of the people with whom you can discuss and by when you are planning to discuss this. Just fill up these two details. With who you will discuss. Okay, and the second thing is by when. Just write down these two details. And there might be, like, let's say nobody in your team, okay, with which you can discuss. So then don't take this topic. It completely depends upon, do you have those kind of seniors who can guide you and help you out? Okay, if they are not really ready to do, if you feel ki nahi hoga to chhod do. But if you find that there could be somebody who can be helpful in your team, so just go there. And you should have this kind of team, guys. Okay, where people are there to care and all that. So you should work in right environments. Okay, just write down two things. Write down the name of the people who can guide you with some growth. It could be people, let's say, not in your team also. If somebody else you know on your office floor, maybe that. But somewhere we need people who can give you the right guidance. And set up a date ki by when you want to do it. This date will help you to really go to them, call them, chat with them, arrange some time, just discuss it generally. The basic target is to come up with areas of improvement. Okay, that's the basic target. Okay, so chalo, this is also done. Now let me highlight on a few things based upon my experience. Okay, let's say even though your managers and all, whatever they share and all, but generally what I feel and what I have seen in the industry with regards to all these areas. Okay, like how a person should behave and in each of this. I'll talk at a high level on standard points. A bit deviations will be there here and there. Okay, first, what exactly is an IT project? If you really consider from development perspective, okay, so anything, right? There is one important pillar. It is functionality. There is a functional requirement. People develop the functional requirement in any technology and then give it back. So one is functionality development. Okay, now whenever you're joining, requirement will come, you have to understand, code, give it back to them. Okay, now the second thing comes, how are you developing that functionality? So first thing is what you develop. Okay, the second thing is how are you developing that functionality? Nothing but standards. Okay, you can build a functionality by not following any standards, and that project is not going to be good. If you are violating the standards, the best practices, the disciplines of coding and all that, if this is compromised, no matter what you build functionally, it will be a compromise system. Okay, so one is you need to build the right functionality. The second thing is you need to follow the right standards while you build functionality. We'll get in more details. Okay. Next, you need to be aware of tools which will be used. So based upon your technology, your domain, some tools will be used, okay, to do this work. Okay. Next, there will be some process which is followed by your company, like which person does what activities, when does the code gets finished, when does it go to production environment, like what is the process basically. Okay. This process could be a basic full SDLC process, like who does what and when, who does what and when. Okay. Now as you start growing more in these areas, okay, there is going to be another aspect which comes, which is performance, modularity, design, okay, maintenance. So that is another one aspect where while you're coding, while you're building functionality, you need to start thinking about how it will perform under load. When many threads are requesting, what will happen? With regards to modularity, how it is easy to maintain. Is the code like how nicely organized into smaller pieces? Like design patterns are used to achieve modularity. If you're using microservices, how those things will be designed. Nothing but thoda sa next level as it. And next, while you're building the application, how good you are building it from maintenance perspective. That is one. Okay. Next. Okay. Now this is again important. Automation. Okay. From developers perspective, I will say you need to really build a rock solid unit testing system. Okay. From QA guys, they will do their own automation. But as a developer, sticking to what happens, I'll just tell you one quick thing here. Okay. Many people compromise on unit testing, but that's not the right thing to do. What happens ki, let's say you have built some functionality. Okay. On top of this functionality, whatever code you have written, on top of this code, if you write unit testing, so unit testing acts like a protective mechanism on this code. Okay, if this input comes, then the code should give me this output. This input comes, code should give me that output. Okay. Now, let's say over a period of time, more and more functionality will be written. Let's say if this project continues for next 5 years, 10 years, you will keep writing more and more functionalities. Okay. Now the thing, what happens is, if suppose you're touching the old functionality of the system, old code is touched, and you make some modification, it might be possible that you don't even know the full old system because it was a 10 years old system. The testers not be there, the developers might not be there, who knows the backward impact. So what will happen is people stop touching the old code. That's where in the new systems, as people start using it, they don't really disturb the old code. They keep writing new, and that's where they create a lot of maintenance problems. So the right way is your old code, whatever was written, you write a unit testing, so that whenever you touch that old code for making some functional modification, automatically, if you have not done it properly, the old unit testing will fail, and then you will know, oh, I have broken the existing functionality. Okay, so just understand, unit testing will be useful for big systems for long-term maintenance, because every time it is not possible to manually verify what the old system was. Okay, so that is where it should become more of a discipline as part of your regular working. For some projects, they will make it mandatory. Without this, they will not even take it forward. For some projects, they might still feel like chalo karte, because it is a small scale project. More focus is to taking the products to production. But just understand, if you can get this bandwidth as part of your sprint and delivery, so it's always highly recommended to do this, because long-term future depends on this one. That's where product-based companies will not compromise on unit testing, because they build something for like 10 years, 15 years. Okay. Small service wale like 6 mahine, saal bhar, 2 years project, so they might do it at times compromise. Okay. Fine. So functional standards, tools, processes, performance and all that, automation aspect. Next comes infrastructure aspect. Nothing but some things like AWS or GCP or Azure cloud platforms or in-house, whatever. But देखो guys, right now what is happening is, in fact, in our team also we got this requirement, is somebody having Java knowledge plus AWS knowledge. Okay. And while I was opening that position in my team, so we Googled, and on Naukri also there were many positions where which was using Java plus this. Why? Because what is happening is, for small scale projects, maybe somebody who has basic knowledge of infrastructure, they can really even set up a machine, do some installations there, purchase a EC2, deploy the code there. Matlab, small teams ke liye, they might just, a person skilled in both will be beneficial. Okay. So I would recommend, if possible, get some basic knowledge about these cloud platforms as an infrastructure. And now this is interesting. There are a lot of services which are provided by these, at least I know about AWS, but it might be available with other guys also. There are a lot of services which are provided by these tools, which can be integrated with your Java application. Okay, nothing but for building functional logic. So there is some Lambda functions. Okay, there is some SQS, nothing but you might have heard ActiveMQ, or messaging queues might be there for some systems. ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ, Kafka, those kind of systems. So like this, AWS is providing its own messaging system like SQS. Now, as a Java developer, you need to connect to SQS for sending message, receiving message, those kind of requirements. Okay, and so just understand, if you are at least basically, you can explore something about these services, how to set up, how to do your basic application testing with that, it would add more value. Because abhi फालतू में एक छोटे SQS के लिए we will not hire a DevOps engineer, right? Java वाले को बोलेंगे you learn it and do it. ठीक है? So this is what it will be required. So basic knowledge of infrastructure. Okay, and okay, so at least as a core pieces, if we see a project, so these are some of the things: how it is functionally, what are the standards followed, what are the tools used, what process is being followed, what about the modularity of the system design and these other aspects. Okay, performance aspects. Next, these performance could be again at two levels, guys. Database level knowledge will be different and application knowledge will be different. Okay, so that will be there. Next, writing some automation suites which will be protecting the system, and then infrastructure wise caring about it. Now there are so many systems where Kubernetes, auto scaled systems are there. So just whatever code you write, it will run it infrastructure in the end. So you need to actually know in your system, how will your code run it in production environment. Okay, so just know that thing, basic knowledge will be required. Now the thing is, different people at different stages of their careers involve differently in each of these layers. Your career goes step by step. Okay, so as the way you're walking up the ladder, when you take the step 1, you should master that step 1, then you take step 2, then step 3, then step 4, like that incrementally, guys. This is important. Now dekho, 0 to 2 years of experience expects something from you. Okay, 0 to 2 years of experience expects something from you out of this. Okay, and you have to really learn it, master it at the step number 1. If you do that, then you can go ahead for 2 to 4 years of experience, because there your role, your expectations will change. Now just understand, if only on paper you are growing in your experience, but your knowledge is not growing accordingly. So if you did not master 0 to 2 years of experience capability, but on paper you are already 3 years, 3.5 years, 4 years experience, if you don't know 0 to 2 years properly, you will be creating more problems in your career in a long run. You will create problems because you did not learn the past, just growing 4 years, 6 years, and it doesn't work like that. If you are not mastering these step 1, step 2, step 3, even if you become 8 years of experience, but your foundation will always be weak. And then what will happen, guys? You have to depend on other people for decisions. You will not be able to make proper smart approaches, okay, what to do, what not to do, and then you will start struggling in your career. Okay, so that is where it is required key at every stage. You should understand what is expected out of you, and then you accordingly prepare yourself 100% for that. And then once you feel you have reached that, then only advance to the next layer. And you have to do it aggressively and faster. So don't spend too much time in doing it. Now let's understand key. So understood, guys? At every layer, you need to understand what that layer expects, then prepare, become good in that, then only advance to the next layer. And if you're growing like this, then only your foundation will be strong. Like layer by layer, you are becoming better. And then when you have 6 years of experience, you will be able to do things more nicely. Okay, you will be able to do things more nicely. So now how exactly this happens? Okay, so somebody having, let's say, 0 to 2 years of experience. There you go, guys. Again, there are different companies, different projects, different people. So you need to really make way through all of this thing. Okay, maybe not every project is giving you that learning curve. Sometimes you are into a project where there is nothing to do. अब क्या करूंगे, टाइम ऐसे निकल गया, and now you are actually running behind in your career. There are such projects like that. लेके सीधे बेंच पे लगा देते हैं, and not even allocated to project maintenance work, production support related work. Developers are put there, they will not grow. Okay, so that is where you need to actively plan your career and avoid making these kind of mistakes. Make decisions. If your project is not giving much to learn, it is better to switch and go to some other company, some other project. But during the beginning stage, just staying relaxed and not learning is going to have consequences in your long-term career. Okay, so your beginning of your career should always be learning. Now, as a 0 to 2 years of experience, okay, what is required is basic functionality you should be able to start building. Initially, people will support you, guide you, because they know that you are juniors. Mentoring will happen, reviews will happen. They will even guide you, instruct you what to do, what not to do. They will allow you to make mistakes. They will give you chance that you go, you code something, and then come back to us. So those kind of opportunities will be there, but people know that you are junior in the system. Okay, and as a junior, you can make mistakes, but your focus should be, so that is side of here. Okay, we know that you will make some mistakes, give you chance to improve, you try it out, you get it done, we will review it, things will work like that. But from your perspective, what your target should be, how can you build small functionalities, small to medium scale functionalities, how you can do that as independently as possible. Okay, that should be your always question key. I want to build functionality, not very complicated, but at least basic things. Basic things you should be able to code in a manner as independently as possible. Matlab, it should not be like for everything running after other people. You tell me. It should not be the case. You should be able to think, see a requirement, think, okay, what can be done? How can we do it? And at least build something functionally. It might have performance problem, it might have modularity problem, design issues, whatever it could be, but at least are you meeting the requirement? At least for small scale to medium scale. And slowly, initially, yes, more dependency will be there, but as you grow through this 0 to 2, you maybe by 1 year, 1.5 year, you should start becoming more independently in this as possible. Initially, dependency will be there, challenges will be more, but as you grow, you should move towards independence. And it might happen with 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. Kabhi bhi a strike ho sakta. It depends upon how quickly you are grasping and growing. Okay, but small to medium, you should be able to start building these things nicely. Okay, now along with this, now guys, this is even more important. You should know the standards, because functionality wise, even if you make a few things here and there, but if you are not following the standards, it will violate a lot of principles in your project. Okay, standards are very critical. Maybe you are junior, you don't understand it. Okay, maybe you are junior, you are not understanding what these are, so you need to really discuss with your team members. Okay, standards could be now of multiple layers. Okay, how do we do database? Is there a DB table naming convention? naming convention, procedure naming conventions. How do we write those procedures and all? So that is with regards to database. Next, coding standards. Your project might already be following certain coding standards. So try to check that, are you guys knowing those coding standards, what to do, what not to do. Next, whatever code architecture. Okay, nothing but there will be a discipline like util classes, okay, controllers, helper classes, service classes, microservice principles. These are all things which comes as part of your code architecture. Okay, how you will write code, which class is responsible for what kind of activities. Yes, as a junior, you should start thinking and knowing okay, these things are there, because we found that many juniors like college level, they just come and they start coding whatever. That creates a lot of mess in the system. Generally those projects which have grown over a period of time, so it needs to know okay, by what are the standards. So if you are not aware, start speaking with your team members, start reading more about this on Google, like what are the coding standards, and in your project what are you following. You need to already discuss with whoever is doing your code review in your team. The seniors might be there, you speak with them ki bhai, how are we doing, what is our discipline, kuch hai nahi hai. If there is a documentation somewhere in your project, like some projects will have non-functional requirements, NFRs. Okay, so read that, and you have to work to understand standards. Don't make it very random. So coding standards will be there, naming standards will be there, code architecture wise, where to write code, where not to write code, these things will be there. And I would suggest one thing, guys. Okay, already while you code, try to use Sonar in your application. Okay, so there is like SonarLint or Sonarqube. Okay, so SonarLint is set up. It is basically, it will help you, it will tell you the standards. When you are writing code, if your IDE is having SonarLint installed, whenever you write a wrong code, this tool itself will tell you, okay, hey, you could have done this in a better manner. And then it will suggest you some code snippet also. So try to see if in your whichever programming language you are using, is there a replacement tool available which does a kind of Sonar work. But I would highly recommend, even as a beginner, discuss with your team members, okay, can you set up Sonar in your Eclipse and for work. It will really suggest you how you can do better coding, because it's not possible to know so much of standards when you're beginner and industry has understood that. Okay, kitne freshers ko kya kya sikhaoge? It's not possible. So they have built up a tool, free available. Plug it in. The tool will tell you whenever you write some wrong code. It will even tell you to write optimized code also. The best practices of coding, the tool will keep suggesting, you start applying that while you code. Okay, so make it a short stuff. Fine, this is what it is. Next, you need to focus on knowing the tools. You need to focus on knowing the process. SDLC, at least basic should be there, so you're not confused where to use what tool. So as a beginner, when you're starting your career, focus on functionally building something. Focus on learning the standards, how to do things in a right manner, not just do things, but do it in a right manner. Next, what kind of tools are available for doing these things? And then what is your process? Who does what, at what stage? How do you interact with UI server QA people? How to interact with the product manager for requirement? All of that, you are at a beginning stage. So you should learn when you're having 0 to 2 years of experience, because that's the foundation time. Okay? Yes. Now, as your experience, sometimes this even gets to like 0 to 3 tak bhi jata hai, guys, at times. So it completely depends, because right now we are seeing ki as the people are growing more, like when I was growing, so people with 3-4 years of experience used to get a lot of knowledge. But right now 3-4 years walo ko nahi mil raha, due to maybe whatever reasons. They are not having that much of knowledge which was there when I was growing up at that time. Okay. So right now, even till 3 also, if people are doing this, it is still fine. Okay. So segments are shifting. Instead of talking 0 to 2, there are segments where people are now speaking 0 to 3 years of experience. Next, 3 to maybe 5 years of experience. Then 5 to 7 years of experience. Like thoda sa change ho raha hai market in the current times. Okay. Fine. So in the beginning, this is where you become really good. Now, second, as you move forward to the second bracket, let's say 0 to 4, 2 to 4, or like 3 to 5. Okay. Now that is the step 2, where it is already expected that you know all these things. I mean, nobody will give you time. If you are 3 years of experience and then you say you don't know how to do this tools usage, process wise, how to interact with other people, you're not aware of these standards, you're not able to even code functionality, and you reach 3 years of experience, then you become a low performer. Because your level right now is high, you're not even able to meet the basic below that also, then that starts causing problems. So when you are at a bigger experience segment, this will become default. Okay, you should know this. Plus, on top of this, now you have to take yourself forward. Okay, simple hota hai guys. Again, same stuff. Functionality mein, now small scale, so you should be able to do it very easily. But here, even medium to complex tickets, you should start doing as independently as possible. Standard wise, you're already good. Standard already good. Okay, tools process wise also you're good, so let's not mention all that. So like standards, tools, processes, you understand basically how industry works because you have spent like 2-3 years in the industry. Okay, now but what is next thing is you need to start focusing on this area, because you're not just building functionality will not be doing much good. You need to start thinking ideas when you're writing code. But how will it perform if lot of requests are coming per second to your application? Will there be challenges? Are you designing the application properly? Do you consider some design patterns when you build an application? These all thoughts should start coming. Modularity of the application, ease of maintenance, like are you writing maybe some Java docs comments in code? How strictly you're following this unit testing? These all things thoda sa starts becoming, because you're getting more seniority. So we are not saying you should become perfect in all of this thing, but at least the thought should start running, because you're growing to your next level, 3 to 5 experience. If you still do basic applications without this, that means you have not grown. You're still like junior itself for the system. And I've seen 4 years of experience people, they don't even get these kind of ideas ki kya karna, because they never learned that, they never put efforts for that, guys. And all this is like hard work. You have to learn it, you have to spend time in doing a lot of research on this. It will not come automatically. You need to speak to people and a lot of things. So start in this area. I'm not saying you will become perfect, but at least this thought should run. And when you are doing day-to-day work, try to think or kaise acha kar sakte in all of these areas. Okay, so that will be required. Plus unit testing also be covered here. And dekho guys, this is the time where you can really start even thinking about going towards full stack. If your project can really give you that opportunity, this is the time, okay, where you can even explore on like, okay, server ho gaya, UI bhi karte hai, this, that. And guys, I would always suggest ki you should have good knowledge on database side. If you are a backend developer, you should have good knowledge on database side. Okay, you should have it, because there will be DBAs and all, but बहुत कम होते हैं. Okay, there is only like many projects might not even have a DBA, or there could be like a 200 employee company, in that a team of maybe 10 DBAs. So generally DBA is not going to come and do your day-to-day database job. Okay, they are only for performance tuning and other things. Data उन लोगों का काम is different. So you need to know basics of database, and guys, database is everything. Okay, so database is where the finally data stays. Your simple query which you are writing, understand guys, this is critical. Okay, the simple query which you write, if there is more data in your database, the query will have a lot of problems in that. It will not fetch the data properly, it will take so much time, and you will be like, I wrote that query and why it is behaving like this in the system. Okay, with less data the application works differently, with higher data it works differently. So you should know how to join, how to do indexing, how to use the primary keys in the where clause properly. All that basic kata hai. It's not hi-fi fundas. Basic knowledge is required of how to do indexing, how to write queries in the where clause, how to join it. and that knowledge has to be done. Okay, and so this is what it is. So focus on those areas as well. And parallelly, yes, like we said, thoda sa infrastructure basic again try to get here. So 3 to 5 is like evolving time, where you start becoming a better person. Okay, this is the starting point of where you start thinking this on the database, more hold coming, and then infrastructure wise. Okay, some knowledge on nice infrastructure, how to do, what to do, and any kind of these kind of problems. Okay, now full stack nature and all of these things come. So focus on that as part of this layer. And then as you grow forward, okay, let's say 4 to 6 years of experience or 5 to 7 years of experience, you have to push it forward from here. Okay, here it becomes again functionally, so you will always be getting better. Okay, so functionally now you have to start, even like complex ticket should become easy for you because you have grown so much. Standards tools ye wo to abhi bachcho ka khel ho gaya, so you are not even bothered. You are almost expected with this experience to really be very good in these things now. Okay, your conversation should be like, okay, how do we design it, what's the approach, what's the best way, what's not the best way. So you should really be good, because with so much of seniority in the system, the juniors will, and yahan pe thoda guys you can start even mentoring related activities, because juniors will be there, you have to guide them so that they know the tools, processes and all that thing, the basics of coding and all that thing. And when you are here, this is high level expected from you. Okay, so performance and all that, infra wise be strong knowledge will be required. Okay, next bigger project responsibility will be given, like full module might be given to you, so thoda sa leading responsibility might also come. There are people even with 10 years of experience still doing independent developer job also. So those kind of things is there, but you will grow faster in your career if you lead some bigger systems. Okay, maybe working with 4 or 5 people and trying to accomplish something. So from that point onwards, it starts going big. And dekho guys, I would really want all you people to ask yourself a question at any stage of your career. Ki bhai, what does your next 3 to 5 years of IT looks like? 3 to 5 years high level roadmap. 3 to 5 years high level roadmap कि क्या direction में जाना है. This is important. There are even I think jokes available on internet कि interview में question पूछते हैं कि what's your 5 years, where do you see yourself in 5 years and all that. Okay, the thing is, I guess that question is somewhere really required, because if somebody is not planning how the career should be like, okay, there are going to be consequences. Let me tell you one simple example. Last time I said this already. There was one guy, okay, he reached out to me saying initial 2 years in the career worked on Java, then switched to a different programming language, then switched to a different programming language, and by that time he crossed like 4.5 years of experience. 4.5 years of experience, worked 1 year here, 2 years there, again here, and then after 4.5 he then realized, oh, I am not good in any one thing now, because I just keep switching based upon payment, based upon money, salary packages. I did not plan my career. And now with 4.5 years of experience, then he's like, now I want to do the thing which I did in my beginning of my career. But abhi, the market changes. Your experience is now 4.5. You have knowledge of a junior who is starting. Maybe juniors might be better than you because they might have spent 3 years in the same thing. So what happens is, if you don't plan your career properly, it starts backfiring. Okay, it starts backfiring. So now, almost it's 9:55. Okay, 9:55. I think yes, right now it's not the time for doing full detailed analysis. Okay, but just look here. You need to arrange a call with your manager. You need to discuss with your team about your areas of improvement. Be it humble. Okay, if you think, for example, like if they are coming very aggressively back on you, because they will be like, acha, so you're trying to play games in the system. Okay, so you have to always be humble. Ki, I want to grow. Can you please suggest me? How am I doing? Okay, so it's not like I'm trying to challenge you. Ki, bhai, main to bahut great hu, and it's like in a humble manner. I want to grow. Please tell me some areas of improvement, because I don't know. I'm not able to fully analyze. I'm trying to improve myself. please suggest. If you be in that model, people will come and guide you. Okay, so try to go here, try to go here. Next, I have discussed all of these points. I will be making it available in the log again. So consider this input, and then your analysis, whatever you wrote yesterday, maybe 2-3 points, why you added yourself in that category. So combining this knowledge, you have to then come up with what should be your next most important 3 steps for improving your career. Abhi yahan se wherever you are getting the answers, not getting the answers, whatever you understood, we need to come up with this list. Okay, and guys, target it that you should have this list maximum by next week. And if you can have that, then we need to come up with a training model around it. How will you train on that? How will you apply that in your projects? And then once you start improving, then you start even guiding your other team members for doing that. If I'm learning like this, it is working. The more you help, the more people will start liking you at job. Okay, so this is what it is. Now, whatever today's session happened, okay, I'll share this already in a chat, okay, so that maybe if you want, you can process it immediately after this call. But we are expecting by the time we said initial first 2 weeks are going to be technical wala. So I'm really expecting by 18th, we really have these answers. What are your next 3 areas where you want to work? What training you are planning to do for that? And at least, yes, you should have started with that training or certification or anything like that. Okay, whichever helps you in your career. We have still 1.5 weeks to go there, but we will even track this activity. So while you are marking your daily attendance, maybe I'll create 4 fields there. Okay, like how you have progressed in this area, this area, this area. Did you finalize your items on 4 areas? And we will measure our progress. Okay. Next, another thing. Right now we are going to close the call. I'll share the attendance link. Okay, any question that you have, okay, one question. Okay, we'll not keep it fully open. Tomorrow we are going to do Q&A. Okay, so whatever is your most burning question, which you have a question, the top one, which is challenging for you, which you are not sure what to do, what not to do, write down that question as part of today's attendance, as part of this free, or the free text field is there, right? Write down that one question, because today I was even reaching out to some members who asked the question, but tomorrow's session is just going to be Q&A. We will start walking through it based upon priority. I'll do walk through that more important one, which I feel common and many people are asking the same question. I'll speak more time on that, and then we will see. In future, we will arrange some one-on-one sessions also. Okay? But at least now giving the attendance link. So think about your most burning problem and ask it genuinely. I'll try to share the best knowledge that I can. Okay, so that's what it is. And yeah, maybe if we are not able to answer everything in tomorrow's call here, so maybe in WhatsApp itself, I'll respond to you one-on-one with your queries. Okay, so how things go. So fine. And guys, try experimenting. Then only you will know what's working, what's not working. Okay. Okay. Taking this link, pasting it in the Zoom chat. Okay. The code for today is, attendance code for today is 8989, and this is the link. Everybody mark your attendance. And guys, there is this one thing, okay? There are different kind of people in the industry. Okay, some of them are really helpful, some of them not helpful. Somebody who really wants to share the knowledge, some who don't want to share the knowledge. And we need to make way through these guys only in the career. Okay, so kuch bhi karo, yahan se rasta nikalna padega. Okay, we cannot run away, we cannot back out, we have to face it. A lot of things have gone up and down in my 12 years also, but we need to make way through this only by keeping our mental peace, by staying composed, by making the right decisions, by helping others. Guys, this is what I really came as an end conclusion out of my entire 12 years. If you help others in your career, matlab, not just your own growth in your career, you make your team also grow. If you do that, everybody in team will respect you, like you, they would like to more collaborate with you. But if you just care about I should grow, people will start hating you. That's how the world is. If they see one guy is improving and you're not taking your team members along, people will start backfiring on you. They will not like working with you. They will create problems for your growth. That model doesn't work. If you're running selfishly, I should grow, my team should not grow, that model is not going to work. Okay? Always stick with, I will help others, I will share my knowledge to others, I will learn from others, and collaboratively we will grow. You will be very much satisfied and happy with your lives. Okay? So chalo, thank you everybody. It's 10. We are getting good in closing the call on time. Okay, see you guys tomorrow 9. Write down your question very properly. Okay, write down your question very properly in attendance. If you have not done it, just copy paste the attendance link. Okay. Okay. Chalo, thank you everybody. See